Today we'll tell you 7 things you should know before moving to Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada.
Hi there, we are Denise and Marc, a husband and wife real estate team in the Greater Moncton, New Brunswick area. These are 7 things you should know before moving to Moncton.
By this point, it's a pretty well-known fact that real estate in the Greater Moncton area is a lot cheaper than most of the rest of the country. The average price of a detached family home is right around 350 grand. Considering the Canadian average is well over 600,000, you'll get tons more bang for your buck in this region. But here are 2 things that go along with buying a house that a lot of people aren't aware of. First off is we have a land transfer tax. Most provinces have some sort of fee when you buy a house. It may be called something different, and how they calculate it varies, but here in New Brunswick, it's 1% right across the board, no matter what the price. And the 1% is charged on either the sale price or the assessed value, whichever is higher. If you bought a house before, you might already be taking this into account, but for first-time buyers in particular, it can really catch them off guard.
And second, we have high property taxes. It's really hard to put us in a specific ranking because taxes vary so much by province and even municipalities, but it is safe to say that we are definitely among the highest in the country. If we use the average $350,000 priced home, you can expect a tax bill of approximately $5,000 per year. And keep in mind that that amount only applies to your primary residence. You get a rebate of the provincial portion of your taxes on your primary residence, but let's say you want to buy a cottage to relax in on the weekends. Well, on that property, you won't qualify for the provincial rebate since it's not your primary residence. So if the assessment of your cottage is, say, $200,000, then you can expect a tax bill of around $4,000 on that one.
Here's an FAQ. What's the weather like? Let's talk about extremes first, so winter and summer. Everyone seems to want to know about winter. Maybe it's because we're from here, but the truth is, they're really not that bad. For the most part, during the day, temperatures will be within a few degrees of freezing, but usually just a little below. At night, they can drop quite a bit by 10 degrees or so. We do see cold snaps from time to time where for a few days or more, daytime temperatures will be more like in the minus 15 to minus 20 range. Those days aren't all that fun, but other than that, nice winter days of minus 3 or minus 4 degrees can be quite pleasant. As for snow, it's really hit and miss, but we get a little more than our fair share, I suppose, but not always. We have years where we'll get hammered and others will get very little snow. Over a 10-year span, we averaged around 300 centimeters of snow per year. To put that in perspective, it's about 100 centimeters more than Toronto would see.
Now switching to summer, the warmest months are July and August. The average temperature for those 2 months is right around 25 degrees. On either end of June or September can really be nice too, especially September with an average temp of 20 degrees. And where we're close to the ocean, it can get quite humid around here, and that affects how hot it feels. So 25 degrees can often feel more like 31 to 32. Our spring season can get cool and rainy until we get closer to June. Fall is very nice here. It's a little cooler, of course, with summer winding down, but for the most part, the days are very comfortable while the evenings are cooler. And a little side note, the fall foliage here in New Brunswick is absolutely beautiful.
This one applies to the province in general, not just the Greater Moncton area, but living in New Brunswick, it's important to be aware of the challenges facing our healthcare system. Over the past few years, we've seen a noticeable shortage of healthcare professionals, which has led to our healthcare institutions operating at or even beyond capacity. This unfortunately translates into longer wait times for medical services. But it's not all bad news. There are alternative avenues available. For instance, 811 Telehealth offers medical advice over the phone. The Maple app provides virtual consultations, and there are several walk-in clinics for more immediate needs. One key aspect to keep in mind is it can be very difficult to find a family doctor in New Brunswick. It can sometimes take years to secure one. So if you or your family have ongoing healthcare needs, this is a crucial factor to consider in your relocation plans.
New Brunswick is the only official bilingual province with both English and French being recognized as official languages. For the most part, this is a good thing because it promotes cultural diversity and it attracts people and businesses, which is great for population and economic growth. You certainly don't need to be bilingual to live here. However, if there's one area you may face some challenges as someone who only speaks English or French, but not both, it's in the job market, particularly in positions that deal directly with the public. In many of those cases, a requirement of the job will be proficiency in both official languages. So even though you may be qualified in every other aspect, you may not be considered. That said, Moncton has a wide variety of job sectors, many of which do not require you to be bilingual.
Cheap real estate has attracted thousands to our region in the last few years. But once you're here, what about the cost of everyday living? With so much fluctuation between provinces and products, we thought a better way to address this and hopefully educate you would be by sharing how much we pay for common things that you'll probably be paying for as well. So let's start with internet. In our house, we have a package that includes TV, internet, and home phone. Since the only calls we get on our home phone are call centers, we tried to get rid of our home phone, but that breaks up the package and actually makes it more expensive. Go figure. So we pay just under $300 per month, like $290 and change. That gives us unlimited internet usage at a good speed. There are two faster packages, but between us and the kids, we have a lot of devices going all the time, and we've never had a problem with internet speed. If you want to ditch the TV and just go for internet, it will run you around $120 per month for the fastest internet you can get.
When it comes to utilities, we pay $276 for power monthly. This includes our heating as well. Gas is not as popular in this area, but some neighborhoods do have it. In a previous house that we owned, it was heated with natural gas, and we found that our power bill was offset by roughly the amount of the natural gas bill. So overall, it was about the same either way. Moncton is on a metered system for water, so you'll pay according to usage, while Riverview and Dieppe are on a flat rate system. No matter which community you're in, you can expect to pay in the range of $200 to $250 per quarter for municipal water and sewer. When it comes to filling up your car, you'll pay around $1.64 per liter at this time. So if your car has a 60-liter tank, you're looking at just around $100 to fill it from empty.
All right, let's look at groceries. We have kids, two of which are teenage boys who are into sports and working out, so they eat a lot. So here are a few examples of what we consider your staples. A 2-liter carton of milk will run you $4.50. An 18-pack of eggs will run you around $7.75. A block of cheese will be $5 to $7. A loaf of bread, $3.60. A 4-pack of boneless, skinless chicken breast, $14. A normal size pack of ground beef, $7, and an average box of cereal, $5.
Switching gears to childcare, we're past that stage now. But if you need childcare, first of all, you may have a bit of a hard time finding it. Waiting lists are not uncommon, and second of all, it's better than it was, but it's still not cheap. On average, depending on the age of your child, the location, and whether it's a full daycare or not, you can expect to spend approximately $20 per day. There are programs available to help you with the cost, but only those who qualify based on household income will be eligible.
Now let's talk about getting around in Moncton, especially if you're considering public transportation. Moncton's public transportation system is known as Kodiak Transpo, and it operates buses throughout the city. It's a handy service that covers most areas of Moncton, but it's worth noting that there are times when the bus service can be limited or less frequent. This is something to keep in mind if you're planning your commute or daily travels. Another point to consider is accessibility. While many buses are equipped to accommodate everyone, including those with disabilities, there are still some routes that don't offer wheelchair accessibility. That's an important factor for those who rely on this feature. As Moncton's population continues to grow, you might find the buses become busier and more crowded. This is a sign of a thriving city, but it also means planning a little extra time for your travel.
Now for some good news. Kodiak Transpo has actually recognized the need for improvement, and in 2023, it increased the frequency of service on over a dozen routes. This is a big step towards making public transportation more efficient and convenient. Plus, Moncton City Council approved the purchase of 4 more buses, which is definitely going to help in managing the increased demand. So overall, if you're coming from a big city, you'll no doubt see areas where the public transportation system can improve. We're not at the level where you'll just show up at a stop knowing that a bus will be along every few minutes. So you'll want to check the schedule, plan accordingly, and give yourself enough time to get to your destination.
I'd characterize the job market in Greater Moncton as healthy. As of December 2023, the unemployment rate was 6.1%, which is just a shade over the national average of 5.8%. One of the interesting things about our job market is what I think a big positive is that we don't have that one industry carrying the city. Instead, we have a diverse range of employers. We've got transportation and logistics. There are 3 industrial parks in Greater Moncton, with many of the major trucking companies having hubs here. In fact, we're known as the hub city. Being pretty well dead center in the Maritimes makes our geographic location ideal for those companies to use Moncton as a hub for distribution to points beyond. Our healthcare sector, although running beyond capacity, does employ thousands in our region. We have 2 major hospitals, several clinics, special care homes, and so on. So when you consider the healthcare workers, support staff, and admin staff needed to run these places on a daily basis, you can see that the healthcare sector is a big employer. Between the Anglophone and Francophone public school districts, 2 universities, 2 community colleges, private schools, and private colleges, the education sector is a great employment source in Greater Moncton. We also have a diverse manufacturing industry, from food processing to metal fabrication. The manufacturing sector offers various job opportunities. Greater Moncton is home to an increasing number of IT companies as well, with roles in software development, IT services, and other technology-related positions. And finally, Moncton's location, amenities, attractions, and shopping makes it a popular tourist area. So tourism and hospitality are good sources of employment, especially during peak tourist season. That's just an overview of the employment situation here. Beyond what we just mentioned, there are always opportunities available for employment. And there you have it, 7 things you now know before moving to Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, let us know in the comments. If you're considering a move to Moncton, you can use our contact info below to get in touch. We are Denise and Marc. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.